So, I can't be the only one who is watching all of these videos on social media, um, from presidential speeches to pastors talking about, yeah, how yes, the US seized Venezuela's oil, but you know, God willed it. Some of it I can't even be upset by anymore. Um, it just feels like such a joke. And I think maybe the trick is to treat it like one. Um, I think I think a lot of it is often fed, um, because the algorithms know what gets clicks. And if the algorithms know, then you better believe that people making decisions or concerned about their business interests or whatever else, you better believe they're aware of what the algorithms are feeding people to. So it's definitely being used, taken advantage of, and manipulated in the favor of those who tend to own these big companies, whether it be big tech companies, whatever. These big billion, some $1 trillion industries are, I mean, they're all buddies with each other. They're not communicating with one another about how they can work together, and what's going to benefit each of them and how they can benefit each other. It's good business. You know, a good business is going to work with other businesses to figure out how they can promote each other. Like anything, as long as it's not going to disrupt what it is that's going on. Not to get all political, but I feel like the more we keep feeding the algorithm and just doom scrolling and spiraling down these bottomless pits, because it's really what they are. And I'm guilty of it. It's what obviously, triggered me to record this. But yeah, I mean, these are bottomless pits, and they are fed just non-stop with shit. And I understand, wanting to go on social media, do whatever, and, enjoy some funny videos. I get it. I do the same thing. But with the more that AI is growing and the more that's coming out, and it's open, but it's not talked about really that I know of in mainstream media. But the more AI programs that come out, we're learning just how devastating it is to our planet. Like way more than, any of us going on once a year, twice a year flights out of the country. Like concerns about carbon footprints and whatever else. It's never the small person who's doing the majority of that damage. It is all big business, big corporations. And when we're looking at AI, it's fun, it's cool, it's great. You can use it for so much stuff, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that someone who wants to start their own business now no longer, if they don't have the money to do it, they don't have to hire a marketing team. They don't have to hire an accountant. They don't have to, do all these things. They can just pay for one AI platform, ChatGPT, and they can use it to break down their numbers, to create tables of whatever kind of information they want. Like, you can use it for so much stuff. You can use it as your marketing team. You can use it for all of these things, and it's great in that aspect that it can make things easier for the underdog to kind of have a leg up in, what I believe to be a very rigged world and system. I don't even want to say world. It's a rigged system, and we've been tricked into existing in it and complying without really questioning it, because we've all just kind of accepted that we need to do these things to acquire these things, whether it be to acquire food, to acquire electricity, like whatever it is, basic essentials of life. I know there are movements out there that are really coming together, that are building communities that are living off of the grid, that are growing their own food, that are doing some amazing things. And I've believed it before, but I think today, in today's world, I'm seeing like how much more important and how much faster all of this needs to happen. And I'm not trying to be like a doomsayer, talk about how terrible things are, because there's a lot of amazing shit going on in the world too. It's just not talked about. And I think that kind of circles back into my concern about social media and this doom scrolling. It's just a distraction. Like, all it's doing is pulling our attention away from what is really important in this world, which is just basic humanity, like being decent people, taking care of each other, taking care of our communities, just being nice people. And I think, and it's funny because like more and more I will meet people and I'll talk to them and we'll kind of get on the topic of status of the world, how things are going, blah, blah, blah. And time again, I encounter people who talk about how terrible the world is and how dangerous things are and how you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and immigrants are taking over and this country's taking over and we need to do it first. And it's just all very fear-based, reactionary thought processes. And the more I have these conversations, because I have them quite a bit, because I am currently doing Lyft and Uber for like supplemental income. And it's easy to believe that when your reality is being fed by the news stations or the doom scrolling of social media or the woe is me posts of Facebook. But in reality, like when we're going out into the world and we're actually interacting with people and talking to people, I don't know about you guys, but like my experience in this world, my experience in this reality is not what I'm always being fed online or on TV. Like, that's not the reality I live in. My reality is full of pretty fucking decent people, and we might not agree on politics or religion or whatever, but it doesn't even matter because they're still decent people. Like, they don't treat me like shit for no reason. Sometimes you'll stumble across, a rude person, whatever. People have their shitty days, but it all boils down to what you put out into the world is what you get in return. What you are convinced the world is what the world will reflect back to you. And I think maybe I'm just fortunate in the sense of I've always been, for the most part, like an optimist. I've been fortunate in the sense of I have always loved people. Like, I love people. I love the cranky ones. I love the old ones. I love the young ones. I love the happy ones. I love the petty ones. Like, I love all aspects of humans and humanity and human nature because it's interesting to me. Like, we all started from a point of innocence and we have all lived lives that have made us who we are and helped to shape and develop how we think about the world. The difference is, in today's world, we're no longer shaping our perception of the world anymore based on our lived experiences. Now we are replacing our lived experiences with our online experiences, our online interactions, our online fed perceptions of reality, war and famine and this murder and this mass shooting and this robbery and the list just goes on and on. And it's not to take away from the fact that these things are happening in the world. Absolutely. We should always be mindful and be aware of these things. But in the majority of our lives, day to day, like, it's not that. And I'm not at all trying to take away from people who live in war-torn areas. And I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't pay attention to those things, because we absolutely should. Like, while I am a believer in, touching grass, like stepping out of the online reality and stepping into the real world and interacting with people, and instead of automatically treating everybody as though they're this assumed bad, instead maybe we treat them as though we assume they're decent, because most people are. But to circle back, I'm not at all trying to take away from that. Like, while I believe spirituality is not spirituality, but connection to life and humanness, while I believe that is the most important thing, I also think it is very important and valid to call out the corruption and bullshit of any government. I think we just need to figure out a way to really unplug, because right now we're plugging into a system that has been designed to benefit those that have continued to benefit, who've kind of always benefited. Like, the politician goes out to the highest bidder. The highest bidder tends to be the one who can, push laws and regulations that benefit them. And we know this is the way of the world. And we continue to play a rigged game. Like, let's put it into just our day-to-day lives. If someone invites you to play a game of basketball, and every single person playing is cheating, or let's say the referee, let's put it this way, the referee is cheating, are you going to keep playing even though you know it's rigged against you? Or are you going to go, no thanks, I'd rather go somewhere else where I can play a fair game? Like, I think we would all step out and play a fair game. I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know how we would go about doing that. I think it starts with building our own little communities. But while we should absolutely pay some attention, not even some, while we absolutely should pay attention to what's going on in the world and our role within it and our government's role within it, I think we also need to remember to take a couple hours out of the day and just unplug and reconnect. Like, if we go to the park, like, leave your frickin' phone behind, or if you bring it with you, don't pull it out to start scrolling. Like, just like be in just be present, like be in the moment. Yeah, I also think we need to, I guess, what I was trying to say in the very beginning is stop taking some of this, like, clearly designed to incite rage bullcrap so seriously, because we spot what it is. You can click on something and read the comments and just feel the fumes like burning inside of you because someone says something that's, contradictory, or something that just riles people up. And I think we just need to stop interacting with it, because right now, all of this is feeding into a system that is not being designed to benefit or help us. Like the information that is being gathered on us day in, day out, through every single thing we do online, it is being gathered, collected, stored, and put into a digital personality profile of who we are. And the people, these big tech CEOs and owners, and the governments that are paying to access and use that information, like, they're not doing it because they want to build an idea of how the citizens are, how we are, so that they could figure out how to make life better for us, because it's not what's going on. And you can see it in, the kind of living situations that are propping up all around the world. Like, our dollar is worth less and less. Good paying jobs are harder and harder to find. Groceries and electricity and bills, all of this is getting far more expensive. And it's only going to keep getting more expensive and more challenging as we allow these companies and these people to build bigger and bigger systems that just collect more and more data, that burn through our water supply, that burn through our electrical grid. And it's all being used not even to benefit us. All of this extra stuff is being taken, and it's not for good. With that in mind, yeah, like I said, I think we all need to take some time to disconnect from the digital reality that we find ourselves living in more and more. And I think we need to start building a community with our neighbors and talking to each other and connecting with each other like regular civil humans, because that's what the majority of us are. And even those who you might not care for, at their core, they're decent people. Some people just don't know how to be the best versions of themselves. And I think we would do well to remember that, rather than building these caricatures in our head based on what we see and hear online, and then feeding that into a now newly fabricated evil world that really only seems to be that way at the very top. All of us regular people, like, I have gone to quite a few places and, traveled there solo as a young female. And I will tell you this, the majority of people were very kind and very considerate and just decent. I think we have way more in common with each other, the average person, than we will ever have in common with these big capitalists and, I don't want to say rulers, but essentially rulers who try to find ways to pit us against each other. We have more in common with each other. We have more in common with the common people in every country than we do with our own ruling elite, and than they do with their own ruling elite most of the time. So yeah, I guess this is just a reminder to disconnect digitally and reconnect personally with each other.